you've got Tampa Bay plus 3.5 at Green Bay.
Yeah, this one's very, very simple. I think Tampa Bay can win this game outright. I certainly don't think the Packers are blowing them out. The Bucks play close games. I like how Baker's playing. He has been incredibly clutch lately this season, really, with these late game drives, whether they're for backdoor covers or for wins. And Green Bay is on a shorter week because of the Monday night. And to me, it's very concerning losing the game they did against the New York Giants. For all those reasons, the Bucks plus 3. This is to me a 20-17 game in either direction, and I'm getting a full, not only a full 3, a full 3.5. I'll take the Bucks plus 3.5. Next.
Next, you got the Giants plus 6 at New Orleans.
Yeah, the Dennis Allen, Derek Carr combo should not be 6-point favorites over anyone except for maybe Carolina. And I know, listen, I'm not buying in to the Giants hype, but Dable versus Dennis Allen is a massive coaching mismatch. The Giants' biggest weakness is the quarterback spot, but at least his teammates like him, while the Saints seem to be rebelling against Derek Carr, and I'm getting 6 points. Like, why would I think the Saints are going to beat anyone by a touchdown? Dennis Allen at home against the spread is historically bad, and I flatly don't buy the idea that this Saints team is going to take care of business in a way where they win by multiple scores. The Giants, on the other hand, Dable's going to have them convinced we win this game, we could make the playoffs. Now, they can't and they won't, but that's going to be their mind frame going into the game. New Orleans does not deserve to be a 6-point favorite over anyone in the league except for Carolina, so I'll take the 6 points and think the Giants might be able to win outright. Next.
Vegas, you messed up. All right, Miami minus 8.5 versus the Jets. Sorry.
All right, we just saw this game played. I understand it was against Tim Boyle, but we just saw on Black Friday Miami run roughshod over the Jets in New York. Now I'm laying less than 10 points for a Dolphins team that unequivocally must win this game. The Dolphins, after this game, they have Cowboys, Ravens, Bills to end the season. If the Dolphins want to have any breathing room, if they want to make sure that that Week 18 game against a Buffalo team that already crushed them is not potentially for the division, then they absolutely need to win this game. Also, Miami, when they win, I don't want to say they always blow people out, because week 1 of the season, they didn't. They beat the Chargers by 2, and they beat the Patriots just by 7. But since then, they beat the Broncos by 50, they beat the Giants by 15, they beat the Panthers by 21, they beat the Patriots by 14, they beat the Jets by 21, they beat the Commanders by 30. Yes, they only beat the Raiders by 7 in what was kind of a sloppy game for them, but that was also a game they were up 7 going into the 4th, and then nobody scored a point. They kind of stalled out there. I just think this is and I know that the Jets defense has played well, but I think Tyreek's going to play and be fine. I know he's listed as day-to-day. This is a bounce-back spot for Miami that really gave a game away against the Titans. This feels to me like a 27-10, 31-10 type of game. Also, the next time Zach Wilson plays 2 good games in a row will be the first time since his last season at BYU. This is a Miami blowout spot, and I'm only laying 8.5. I'm going to check real quick. What was the Dolphins-Jets line the first time they played when they played in New York? Hold on, I think I can find that right here. Are you making that up, or you know it?
I was making it up, but I think it was 7.5.
Okay. 9.5. Maybe it opened at 7.5 and moved to 9.5. Who knows? Like, maybe that was with the Tim Boyle news. I'm not sure. But Miami was only 1 point bigger. I don't understand. Miami was a 9.5 point favorite in New York. They are now an 8.5 point favorite in Miami. We think that much more highly of the Jets because they played one good offensive game against the Texans, and we think that much more lowly of the Dolphins because they played a bad game against the Titans. That line is way off to me. All right, next.
Next, you've got Dallas plus 1.5 at Buffalo.
Yeah, Dallas is a great team, and Buffalo just occasionally looks like one. Like, here's the thing. What is the last time the Bills played a great 4 quarters? I can tell you. Week 4 against Miami. Now, you can say this is an indictment on the Chiefs. The Bills didn't play that well in that game. They won anyway, and you can say, again, that can be a testament about the trouble the Chiefs might be in. But the Bills played awesome for the first quarter and a half, and then hung on for dear life, butchered the clock at the end, and gave up what would have been an all-time embarrassing way to lose if not for the refs stepping in the way of it. Dallas, on the other hand, is rolling, and Dallas right now, in a weird way, needs the game as much as Buffalo, because Dallas knows their only hope of hosting any playoff games, of winning the division, of maybe being the 1 seed, is running the table. And then they need Philly to trip up at one point along the way. So I'm getting points for the better team with the quarterback playing at an MVP level that is rolling against a Bills team that, again, I know everyone right now is all of a sudden all over the Bills. But the fact of the matter is this, that they didn't play well in the second half against the Chiefs. The week before, and that was coming off a bye with the Chiefs injured, all of those things going in their favor. What's up, DeMonza?
I'm just now realizing that this whole time, Buffalo's favorite in this game. That's really crazy. That's like, I was just looking at that as minus 1.5 the entire time. But yeah, I think Vegas got this one wrong. Like, well,
here's the thing. Vegas and the betting public love the Bills. They have for years, man. Vegas and the betting public love the Bills. I just think they're wrong. But the Bills played, you know what, that's not fair. The Bills played a really good game against Tim Boyle and the Jets a few weeks ago. But since that Dolphins game in week 4, when the Bills got to 3-1, here's what they've done. Lost to the Jags in London. Escaped against the Giants. Remember that game where the Giants got the ball down to the 5-yard line at the end and then they didn't call the DPI or whatever? Lost to the Patriots. Escaped against the Bucks. That's the game the Bills had sewn up. The Baker made a late comeback and then they threw the Hail Mary that Godwin didn't turn around on. Lost to the Bengals. Had a mortifying loss to the Broncos. Played great against the Jets to their credit. Found a way to lose against the Eagles, and then escaped against the Chiefs. One other stat. In the entire McDermott, Josh Allen era, as long as we acknowledge the Chiefs and the Cowboys are both going to go to the playoffs, this stat applies. The Buffalo Bills have never won games in consecutive weeks against playoff teams. Never. Now, some of that is you don't always play playoff teams in back-to-back weeks. You haven't had, 30 opportunities, but it's never happened. I'll take the Cowboys to win outright. And last one.
You got Jacksonville plus 3.5 versus Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, the Jags are at home, and I'm getting 3.5, and they need the game. And Trevor will be healthier than he was last week. And Baltimore, even if they're dominating the game, Baltimore will let people back into games. Now, Lamar played awesome against the Rams. Awesome against the Rams. I give him credit. The defense didn't, but he did. But I am getting I think Baltimore is a little bit better than Jacksonville. I do think they are the better team. But they're on the road, and they're laying 3.5. The Jags got to have the game. The Ravens do have a game to play with thanks to what's happened to Miami and Kansas City. I like Jacksonville in this spot. I think Jacksonville can win the game outright. If I'm wrong on that and the Ravens are up big late, the Ravens like to let teams back into it. I'm getting 3.5. I'll take the Jags plus 3.5. Think Trevor will be a little bit healthier. And it's December, so I imagine we'll get the news report around, like we did around this time last week, that Lamar has the flu again. And so he might not, he might have to miss a day of practice because he gets his, annual cold because Lamar's immune system is the worst of any pro athlete I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.